Gospel according to Luke. Why do you call me Lord, Lord, and do not do what I tell you? I will show you what someone is like who comes to me and hears my words and acts on them. That one is like a man building a house, who dug deeply and laid the foundations on rock. When a flood arose, the river burst against that house, but could not shake it, because it was well built. But the one who hears and does not act is like a man who built a house on the ground without a foundation. When the river burst against it, immediately it fell, and great was the ruin of that house. When Jesus asks, why do you call me Lord, Lord, and do not do what I tell you, going on to tell the story of the man who heard his words, acted on them, and built his house on a foundation of rock, and the other who heard and built on the ground. When the flood came, the one with no foundation immediately fell. We are being asked if we hear to act as he tells us, or if we hear and do what we think is best. For the past 30 years, our family have lived next to a tidal river. Most of the year, we love being close to the water. I row as a hobby and am never happier than being with the wildlife and the tranquility, or walking my dogs along the riverbanks. But when the river rises, we brace ourselves for the possibility that the riverbanks may burst. Jesus uses a story of a flood, knowing the destructive power of it. After a flood, regardless of whether the house stood or fell, there is a huge mess. And months, years, and sometimes a lifetime of cleaning up to do. This is what we face in our work. There are no quick fixes, and we are committed for as long as it takes. It can be easy to hear something and act in a completely different way to what is being said or asked of you. When my adult children phone or visit and tell me about something that's going on for them, perhaps distressing them, I instinctively go into mum mode, wanting to help and fix, rather than doing what they are asking me to do, which is to simply listen and to hear how it's impacting them and to support them in it. Growing up, I was one of 6 children. We were all very close in age. One thing we learned early was to eat very quickly and to eat the best bits first. Otherwise, our hungry older brother will be helping himself to our dinner. During long summer holidays, we'd head off after breakfast with friends, playing in the surrounding woodlands. In those days, there were no mobile phones or any way of keeping in touch, so we relied on our body clocks and our hunger to bring us home at lunchtime. When we burst into the kitchen, demanding to know what was for lunch and claiming to be absolutely starving, the first question we were asked by our mother was, "Where are your brothers and sisters?" Then the correction that we weren't actually starving, and there are many in the world that are. If we didn't know the answer to that question, we were in trouble. Mum would say, "You went out together this morning. I expected you to look after each other while you were out and to bring each other home." When Jesus talks about building houses, he's not talking about bricks and mortar, but how closely we have aligned our lives to him and how deeply we are rooted in what he has taught us. Have we heard him? What we do in safeguarding creates the foundations that will protect and allow the church to be a place of safety, love and belonging for everyone. It's why we do what we do. It's not work that we do to meet a criteria or to tick a box, but allows the people of God to meet, praise and to reach out to others. Our work often feels hard, but so is digging foundations into rock. When we are facing a difficult case or wondering how to make sense of our personal faith, and the church where bad things can sometimes happen, let us remember that our Lord stands beside us, with his shirt sleeves rolled up, pickaxe in hand, helping us to support the church's foundations. We have heard him. We have heard him when we support victims. We have heard him when we put things in place to protect the vulnerable. We have heard him when we put aside criticism from people who don't think they need checks or disrupt procedures that are there to protect everyone. We have heard him when we tirelessly support each other to make our church a place of love, safety and growth. And we have heard him when we provide care for an abuser, ensuring they receive the help they need to protect them from themselves and others. Jesus' hearing God ended with the cross. When the flood came, the crucifixion, his house did not fall down, but instead flung open the gates of heaven for us. No amount of sin or brokenness could knock down his house. Let us reflect on our work and consider when the day comes when we enter into God's kitchen and are faced with the question, where are your brothers and sisters? We can say, Lord, they're safely over there, in that church built on rock.